Hello, my mindful adventurers. Are you ready for your weekly dose of the blog post? This is the second week of the softening month to be able to hold the manifestations that are coming into our lives now. And the first week, we talked about what it actually means to soften. What it means to soften, because it's not being a little baby bitch, right? It's not about that. It's about sitting in your own power and knowing what you will and will not tolerate, and being able to protect the soft, squishy, supple parts of yourself that you don't share with everybody, because not everybody deserves all of that, right? Not everybody deserves all of you. So we talked about it, right? Sitting in your own power, being able to soften within that power and like to be regal, like almost like a monarch, right? This week we are talking about seeing, we're talking about signs and synchronicities and all kinds of things like that. And I just want you guys, real quick, adjust this mic. I just want you guys to know I will be talking from my experience. My name is Jamila. I will be your commander-in-chief, editor, all that shebang here at a Mindful Adventure, because I'm the only one here. Besides, of course, my guides and the creator. They're always with me. And nature. Nature is with me. Nature loves me. Nature loves you as well. Okay. So everything is an invitation, right? Your life has meaning, a purpose, regardless of your situation or background or anything of that nature. Like, literally, I believe that everything happens for a reason. There are no coincidences, right? Of course, I also believe that not everything has a specific meaning in that time, or doesn't have a meaning at all. I mean, you could just be like driving down the street and you see the same billboard all the time. It doesn't mean that you need to contact that person or use those services. No. But I mean, besides the fact that it's advertisement, but maybe one day it has a message for you. Maybe one day there's something there that you didn't notice before. Just like when you listen to one song, or you listen to specific songs, and then you listen to them again later, and then you realize, wow, this has a deeper meaning. Or I know a lot of people like to say that with religious texts, specifically the Bible, because I used to be Christian. And you could read that 1,000 times, right? And you could get a totally different meaning every single time you read it. So that's all I'm saying, right? But I'm also saying, like I said, I'm also saying like not everything. I'm not saying like every single little bit and thing is a sign. Okay, that is what I'm saying. I'm saying to use your discernment, your intuition, your gut, no, your inner knowing, your gut and your heart. And listen to those things. Your chakras. If you're in chakras, then you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I just want to remind you again that we are in the middle of rewiring our neurocircuitry. And I just also want you guys to like think about like, how does the sanctuary feel? Like, how do you feel within your body, which is your sanctuary, your peace, your inner knowing, inner self? How are you feeling right now? I want you to like feel into that, because that check-in is how we should be living our lives. We should be checking in with ourselves multiple times a day, not just once or twice, not just when we meditate, not just when we lay down to go to sleep, not just when we got done with something that was stressful. No, we should be doing it all the time, right? Like, I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, like, how do I feel right now? Like, do I want to put on my jacket? Like, I mean, I don't actually want to put on my jacket, but if I did, I would. And I'm thinking about, like, of course, how I look on camera. I'm literally wearing my PJs. Okay, so don't judge here. This is a safe space for all, including myself. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, so checking in with yourself. Because like I said, we're in the middle of rewiring our neurocircuitry, and that takes about 21 days to do so, to build a new habit. I mean, like, intentionally, consciously putting in the effort to make that change, or to rewire it, instead of going to the same thing you've always gone to, changing it to be something else. Comes with the 10-second pause and all that. I will put a link to that here, where I talk about the 10-second pause. It's not all about the 10-second pause, but it's about the pause, right? So we'll definitely look into that. Anyway, so let's go ahead and talk about the science of survival, because like our brain has a job, right? Our brain is to keep its job is to keep us alive. Literally, the brain functions to keep us alive. It stores memories. It predicts things. It's like a very super. I mean, if you know what AI is basically like that. It is a quantum processor made of flesh and blood, and it's in our heads. We don't need to upgrade it. We don't need to put like extra shit in it. We don't need to expand the memory. It's already what we need. It's already there. I truly believe that everything that we need is within ourselves. So our brain, right, is there to protect us, and it's been doing so for over over 100,000 years, like over 200, like I think like 300,000 years or 400,000 years. Like Homo sapiens have been like this, like us as we are today. In a way, I mean, of course, we've changed a little bit over the years, but for the most part, we have been the species, like with the chromosomes, with the traits, with all the stuff, and the things that we value, right? I mean, of course, the things that we value have changed. It's not like we've been like obsessed with gold and shit like that since the beginning of time. A lot of cultures actually aren't even obsessed with that shit. They don't care about that. They're like, we care about food, bro, surviving. But anywho, um, but when we are in a state of survival, we're literally in like a in a way an artificial natural state, because we have been doing this for so long. Our brain is so focused on, okay, what have we experienced, what have we gone through, what might the future hold for us, what could this lead to, like those are the type of things. But the thing I want you guys to know is that let's make sure I'm saying, I almost said 70, 85 to 91% of the things we worry about never happen. Did you hear me? Did you hear me? I said 85% to 91% of what we worry about doesn't even fucking happen. And if it does happen, it's usually not to the extent that we think it's going to happen, right? So I just want you guys to really think about that. Like, our brains catastrophize a lot. Our brains like want to make sure that we know what's going on because we want certainty. As human beings, we crave certainty, even though our lives are full of so much ambiguousness, ambiguity. I don't know, ambiguous. It's not clear. It's not clear cut. Like, our lives are not straightforward. So there's a lot of things that we don't see, a lot of things that we don't understand, and there's a lot of clarity that we don't get until after the fucking fact, until after the thing happened, and we're sitting there thinking about, like, oh shit, I see why that was important. I see why I had to go through that. So that now I can sit here in this reality and hold this reality and be able to like be present in this reality. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? No, I'm just kidding. Make sure my water bottle doesn't fall over and get all dirty. But anywho, so we need to like get to a point where we're observing and not obsessing over the things that we're seeing and experiencing. And when we're obsessing, we're in a state of survival. We're in a state of, oh my God, what's going to happen? How do I keep myself afloat? How do I keep myself this? How do I do this? How do I do that? Instead of being an observer, right? Sitting there in your own power, just chilling. I mean, like, well, I mean, you can observe in survival mode too. Like, it's not hard. But you can also, like I'm saying, you observe, right? You're sitting there, you're watching the things happen, you're just taking in what you're experiencing. Like, literally plain and simple. Like, literally, I can sit here and be like, okay, I'm literally sitting in a field with grass, and a lot of the grass has like these little pieces of these little grain bits on them, and a lot of them are drying out. They're getting ready to fall off to make more grass, because they've been flowering and mating and all that stuff. But and then there's this you can kind of see behind me. There's trees, right? But then on the trees and within the trees, there's a lot of grapevines, and I see that around me. I also see the pecan trees over there. There's a pecan tree over here. There's that tractor equipment right there, the PTO, behind me. And I can just experience that. The sky's kind of overcast today. It's not crazy, but it's overcast today. I can see a little bits of blue here and there, but it's mostly overcast. I hear there's a plane over here. Just experience. Like, you're just in the moment, right? Observing. You're not like, oh my God, it's overcast. It means it's gonna rain. Oh, like, because that doesn't always mean it's gonna rain, right? And then there's just birds over here. I don't even know what kind of birds these are, but they're flying over me. I think I know what they. Oh no! It pooped. I thought it pooped on me. I got scared. But besides from the bird pooping, bro was like flying and then went, and then I'm like, yo, why did you do that? But thankfully, it didn't land on me. Okay, thankfully there is no poop on me anywhere. Okay, I didn't think I was gonna get scared like that. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Okay, so like, basically, okay, so that's a perfect example. I thought the bird was gonna shit on me. It didn't. Like, it didn't. Like, at all. Like, it didn't even come near me. I don't even know where it went. I didn't hear it fall. I didn't see it fall. But, I mean, I saw it come out of the bird, but I didn't see it, like, fall around me. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying? If that's not a great example in the moment, I don't know what the fuck is. But I think those birds are egrets or something like that. I don't know. If I find the species, I'll put it up here. If not, then just know that they look like tiny cranes, right? Tiny cranes that put their legs and shit in the air. Anywho, so you want to use your sensory organs to snap back into the now and process, like, yeah, when the process starts to overthink. When you start to overthink, what you want to do is you want to breathe in the here and now. That is a mosquito. Lord help me. Anyway, um you want to sit in the here and now. You want to breathe in. You want to look around. You want to listen to what you're hearing. Like I said earlier, when I was checking in, I was telling you what I was hearing. I was telling you what I was seeing. You know, I was telling you what I felt, right? I didn't tell you I felt the wind, but I feel the wind, right? I'm feeling the energy from the earth in my butt. Like I feel like I'm grounding. I don't feel like I am currently grounding. I feel like I am um mellowing my energy and like coming back centered to myself just by sitting on the ground. I'm not sitting bare ground because some of this grass I'm allergic to and I'm just not trying to have an allergic reaction. Okay, bear with me. Bear with me. I'm just kidding. I need to stop. But I'm just I'm opening my sensory organs to what's around me and I'm feeling it and I'm experiencing it. And there's also like what is it? Droplets of rain coming down too, and I'm feeling that as well. So I'm also like smelling. I sprayed the spray on me. It's supposed to be like mosquito repellent, and it doesn't really work like that. But instead I just use it as like a good vibes like spray because it smells good. I love the way it smells, but it just does not do its job. It's all natural stuff. And then I have my incense over here, right? And then I in my mouth I taste like the food that I had earlier, like the aftertaste, and like of course my saliva and the water and all that stuff. But I digress, right? Like taking all the things that are around you in order to come back to the moment. Because then you're not worried about what's happening next. You're not worried about what's in the past. You're just like here and now. And in the here and now, sometimes you find experiences, not experiences, but opportunities that you would have never ever saw otherwise if you weren't in the here and now. I'm pretty sure you've had that in your life, man. If you're sitting here watching this video, there's a good chance at some point in your life you felt you were like, damn, if I wasn't here right now, I would have never noticed that. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm talking about. So, let's go to like some of my experiences, right? Let's dive into that because I want you guys to know, like, it's okay if you're having trouble staying in the here and now. It's okay if you are struggling, excuse me, struggling with catastrophizing and trying to predict the future because it is something that we do as human beings. It literally kept our species alive. We don't need to do any of that anymore, so it kind of gets in our way, right? It's not like we're out here living in huts in the wild with barely any like protection. Now there are people that are doing that, and that's cool. But I'm just saying, for the most part, I mean, specifically Western society, like that's not how we're living anymore, like at all. So, anywho, on to my little spiel about my experience. So, when I was DoorDashing a few weeks ago, I saw 3 barred owls. Right, I saw 3 barred owls. I usually see great horned owls, but I saw barred owls for whatever reason. Um, they don't make normal hoot sounds. They kind of like sound like they're screaming a little bit, like a screech. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not gonna sit here and mimic it, but I don't know why I'm telling you this. You can go look up barred owls. I'll put the barred owl, like spell it, and I'll put the scientific name so you can go find it. Anywho, I saw 3 of them. One of them flew past, like across my path while I was driving. I was just driving. All of a sudden, I see this thing like flying across the street. I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And it flew away, and I was like, "Okay." And then like maybe like 30, 40 minutes later, I saw another owl also flew across the street and into this tree high above, just sitting there, just watching, right? And I was like, okay, that's so cool. I love owls. Like I love nature. I love fauna. I love the flora. I love all that shit. And then, not like, I want to say maybe several hours later, I saw another owl, and it was sitting in the middle of the road. But this owl, it was sitting in the middle of the road on the opposite side of the road where no cars were coming. I'm assuming it like caught a mouse or something, or I don't know. But this owl, I thought was a Whataburger bag. You know those? I mean, I don't know if you know what Whataburger is. If you're from Texas or surrounding states, you know what Whataburger is. Um, they have these bags, these, like, the paper bags, the small paper bags you get from the store, and they have like lines, like striped lines on them. Yellow, I mean not yellow, Jesus, orange and like the brown from the bag, lines. And I thought that's what was in the road because barred owls are stripy looking birds. They're kind of stripy. Um, and I was looking at it and I was like, what the fuck? Like, who left this bag? Is that a Whataburger? I was looking at it. And instead of being like, oh, it's trash, you know what I mean? I kept looking at it until it was like almost parallel with the car. And I was getting close to it. And there's a median. So like, it's pretty safe. It doesn't feel like it's threatened by any of the cars passing by, right? But I like, oh, bye. It's a fucking owl. It's sitting there and it's just looking around, just like kind of like just like sitting kind of weird in the road. That's why I assumed like maybe it like caught something. It wasn't there when I drove back the other way to leave that area, but it was sitting there, right? And I thought at first I thought I was looking at a paper bag. It was not a paper bag. It was an owl. So those three owls at the time, I didn't really think. I mean, like, I kept note of them, and I was like, what does it mean? Like, what does it mean to see barred owls? And it's like transition, like change, embracing things like that. Wisdom. Obviously, owls are usually a symbol of wisdom and I want to say vigilance, I think, but definitely, definitely interesting, right? I didn't realize what they were signifying until later, and I'm gonna keep that information to myself for now. Eventually, we'll talk about it, but for now, we're keeping it to myself. Anywho, but basically, what they were doing is they were signaling to me that there is something new coming to me. There's something that's coming to me that I've never experienced before, and that I need to make peace with my past and get ready for this new transition. I'm excited. Obviously, I'm excited. Like obviously, I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna talk about it with a shitty grin on my face. Okay, so I want you guys. Whoops, I was gonna read the other thing. So yeah, these owls, they were like they were breadcrumbs in my life, right? They were breadcrumbs to build up to a larger meaning, to a larger message. Literally, there was more message. I hate that my hair makes it like get all weird and then it's all extra exposed. Anyway, I ended up realizing that there was more to just these owls, right? There was more things I was seeing. I see a lot of things while I'm dashing, and I'm pretty zoned in while I'm dashing. Like, I'm not like off in the future and the past really that much. I'm usually like right there in the moment, listening to my music, vibing, chilling, not really like, whatever. So I see a lot of things, like being in that present moment, driving. And I was realizing I was seeing a lot more specific types of license plates than I did. I was seeing more things that I had saw before. What are these? These ravens? Are you a raven? Oh, these are black vultures. There's like a bunch of black vultures like flying overhead right now. It's like a whole family. They're probably like chilling. Fun fact about black vultures: they mate for life, and they're very social creatures. They will actually like group up and like talk to each other. They don't really make normal bird sounds because they don't have vocal cords. They make like weird hissing sounds. But they're really cool. I'm so happy because two of these are definitely my friends that I see every single season. They live here. They usually like to sit in this tree that I'm actually next to, but because I'm here, they're probably not going to. Or they might. I mean, I say hello to them all the time. But like I said, I don't know which one's which. I just know that a pair of them are my friends. It's a little blessing, just a little, because it was like, I'm gonna say 7 or 8 of them. So, anywho, my random bird facts. Earlier, the bird tried to shit over me, and now black vultures. Um, but yeah, when you like keep up with these things and these symbols, like eventually it starts to paint like a pretty big picture. And then when you start to like meet people or experience certain things, you start to realize I see the correlation. So the next part, right, is the vocabulary of design. All the intentional, all of the things, like I just said, license plates, number. I didn't say numbers. I also keep up with numbers. For me, my number is 25. My angel number is 23. It was I didn't have an angel number until recently. Like I didn't realize that the numbers 1023 were following me everywhere in college. It was weird. I didn't know what it meant. I had no idea what it meant. And then after a while, I just like accepted it as like a sign from the divine. And then after that, I started just seeing 23s everywhere. So, and 23, by the way, is like there's a lot of different meanings behind it, but 2 is balance and 3 is creativity. So together, like some kind of balanced creativity, which is, I would like to say I'm a balanced creative person. I'm just kidding. I mean, I would like to say I'm balanced. I try to be balanced. I'm trying to be more balanced. And I'm definitely pretty creative. I'm on here making content, right? So, anywho, I mean, I'm really just giving you guys a bunch of information, which is not the most creative, but at least I'm here. Anywho, so yeah, numbers, things, conversations you overhear, even like junk mail. Like sometimes, so I'm gonna tell you this right now because this is like probably the coolest like thing. When before my mom and I moved to Texas, like before we even knew that we were supposed to be moving to no, it was before we moved to Texas. We knew that we were supposed to be moving to Texas. She wasn't quite sure yet because she was getting married. Well, she wasn't sure if she was gonna get married yet, but she got this flyer in the mail for Texas, and she was like, "What the fuck?" And then I got like a couple months later, I got this big ass like package. It was like a places to visit in Texas, a whole state map. It was all kinds of shit, and I was like, "The fuck?" She 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 asked me if I signed up for it. I'm like, I didn't sign up for shit. I didn't ask for any of this. She didn't sign up for it. Her fiance didn't sign up for it. I mean, her prospective fiance at the time. Oh, her husband now. But like, none of us signed up for that shit. Like, none of our relatives, nothing. And it was just so weird. Like, why would I get this huge brochure, like pamphlet with the map and everything saying come visit Texas? Like, that's so weird. But that was probably like one of the biggest, like, that's like one of the biggest things. Like the creator can't get more loud than being like, bam, now what you gonna do about it, right? Because like literally I've been asking for signs and synchronicities, all kinds of things, right? And I've been getting them. I remember one time I was like, hey, like show me this bird, right? Show me this bird if what's happening is true, right? Or you know, something with this bird, right? And I waited like 4 days, and then I was like, well, I guess it's not true. I guess it's not happening. And then literally not but like 10 minutes later, I hear the bird's name said like 5 or 6 times in 1 minute. I never told anybody about this. And the funny thing about where the audio came from was a live stream. I don't know this person. I don't know them at all. They don't know I exist. It doesn't even matter. I don't even play the content that was being live streamed, right? It was it was like what? And then after that I had a conversation with the person watching the live stream about something in the live stream that had to do with the bird. So it was like the universe was like, "Oh, really? Really you thought nah, bitch. This is real. This is real, right?" So it was definitely, I was very humbled. I would shut the fuck up after that because I was like, okay. I mean, not gonna lie, even now I'm still like, but is it real? But then I keep remembering, like, duh, like you got the sign. There was no mistaken. Like, it wasn't like, oh, you saw the bird. It kind of looks like another bird, but you're not sure if it's that bird that you're looking for. No, you got the fucking name of the bird, right? Repeat it multiple times within 1 minute. Like, that's not like, that's weird. And the thing is about the game that they were playing has nothing to fucking do with birds at all. There are no birds in this game. Okay? I need you guys to realize this. So, yeah. If that's not a sign, what the fuck is a sign, right? Like what else would I can't make that shit up. I don't know that person. I didn't tell them, hey man, talk about this. No, the person that I saw that was watching it, that saw it, they don't know that person either. Like they talk to them on the stream, and that's it. But like they don't play together the game. They don't talk together like that. You know what I mean? Like if it's not a sign, I don't know what the fuck it is, right? So things like that, right? You overhear conversations, just like that live stream. I overheard it, right? Sometimes I'll be in public and I hear people talk on the phone, or hear people like this one time. I was talking to somebody about something, and I was asking them about their preference for something, and they were like, they were talking about it. I'm like, really? And then the guy in the next aisle said, hell yeah. And I was like, yeah, like right on time, like perfect response time. I was like, yo. And bro was on the fucking phone. He was not in our conversation. He was not a part of that. It was just, ah, okay. That's a synchronicity, right? That right there is synchronicities. When you experience things like that, they're synchronicities. Like when basically the creator is like, oh, I got the answer there. Or like you be like, I was gonna my other example was instant karma. I guess like, you know, when someone wrongs you or someone does something foul and you're like, that doesn't seem like a good idea, and then like it's like an instant like you shouldn't have did that. That's kind of that's a synchronicity. It's like, oh, you know what I mean? Um Not all synchronicities happening all at the same, like all synchronicities are like, what I've understand is synchronicities are like things that happen in the moment that usually don't happen in the moment, that are like very interesting, like very, it's like when you ask for information and it's like given to you immediately, which I just explained, but I'm explaining it again. Okay, on to the next part. I feel like I'm not doing a good job, but I explain it better in the blog post. I forgot to tell you guys, at any point in this video, if you want to go read the blog post, is down below. It is titled Vibrational Literacy, Decoding the Divine Dialogue. So if you're like at this point in the video, which thank you for being here so much. But if you're like, girl, what the fuck? Go read the blog post and come back or something. But these are supposed to go together, hand in hand, right? They're not supposed to be like you read one and then you don't read you don't look at the other. I mean, you could, but what's the fun in that? They're companions to each other for a reason, right? Right. Okay. So another thing about these little about these trails, right? About these little things that we get that like link together to make a bigger picture is we we are sometimes, a lot of the time, I'm not gonna lie, we are literally forced, not forced, but we're, how do I explain this right? The creator shows us things, right? And when the creator shows us things, you know, via the universe, because the universe is the creator's creation, right? And we're part of the universe, right? And the universe is an ancient energy that has just, it's been since the beginning of time, right? Well, since the beginning of the creator made time, right? Okay. Um, Sometimes, most of the time, like I was just saying, we are kept from the full truth, or we're kept from the full prophecy or the full future, because if we were to be given all of that information at once, just like I said, sometimes, like I said, I saw the birds, I mean the owls, I didn't fucking think that it was going to be linked to something else, and it ended up being linked to something else. um if we were told the whole future, like exactly what was going to happen, right, we'd be focused on that future. That's why a lot of people who like, some people who like get really worried about like their death or whatever, and then someone tells them how they die. Like it happens in shows a lot. Someone tells them how they die or how they end up living the rest of their life. They get fixated on that, and then they try to make it like not happen, or make it happen whatever, you know, at a different time. And usually that kind of stuff is no bueno. You should just let things happen, right? You know, we all got to meet our maker at some point. Um, But when we get to have that information, we typically abandon our bodies. We typically abandon ourselves in the present moment because we're fixated on what's going on in the future. And that's not how we should be living our lives. We should be in the present moment. Like I said, using all of our senses to stay in this moment so that we can see all of the things, all of the letters. Hey man, maybe you see specific letters and for some reason they like trigger something for you. I don't know. Maybe that's for you. Maybe that's for whoever you are watching this right now. Leave a comment down below. I would love to know who you are. You know, instead of abandoning our bodies, we stay in the moment. So we stay vigilant of the things that we may need to experience, right? And another thing about these signs and synchronicities is like not all the time, like I said earlier, not all the time do they actually mean something. Sometimes it's just like you see something and it's like, oh, I just see this a lot, but it's like it's whatever, it's not like whatever. But sometimes when you see, like I said earlier, also like when you like, maybe you've heard the same song a million times or read the same book 1,000 times and then you like read it this one time or listen to it this one time and it hits you in a different way. The way that you kind of like hits like hard in the chest, like not like pain, but like a kind of like maybe like a little bit of like a drop. Not like a oh shit, but like a oh like a reverence, like a recognition, like something in you recognize what was going on. And that's typically how I go about these signs and synchronicities. Not like I said, not everything is a sign. And I have to be open and realizing that, right? And you do too. But I know some people believe that every single little thing is a sign, and that's fine. Um, that's okay if that's how you want to live your life. I don't live my life that way, so I'm not going to be talking about from that. I'm not talking about it from that perspective. You know what I mean? Okay, so I want to real quick also talk about something, right? Because I talked about signs and synchronicities, but I also want to talk about events, right, and things that happen. Because a lot of people, like I said, everything happens for a reason. I truly believe that. Just like I said, not everything has a immediate meaning or has a meaning in particular, except for the ones that has that recognition within you, that feeling in the chest. Again, I wish I could explain. I wish I could tell you guys, oh, this is how it feels, and you guys could feel it, right? And so you guys know. But we don't all feel the same way, and that is just not a way for me to do that. So, anywho, back to what I was saying. So I want you guys, like when you're in a situation where it seems really shitty, and you're like, what the fuck? What is happening? And you're like, why is this happening to me? That is a victim mentality. Instead, I want you to be like, what lesson am I supposed to be learning from this? What can I gain from this, right? Instead of being like, why is this happening to me? This always happens to me. Whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? So I just want to real quick. I'll just explain to you because I had this experience like literally last night. I was actually out here, and I was pissed. I'm not gonna lie, I was mad. Something happened, and I was upset, and I was like trying to like calm myself down, and I was like, why does this keep happening? Like, why does shit like this happen? Like, why is this, whatever? And I was just like, why? And then I realized, like, what the fuck? Hold the fucking phone, bitch. What do you mean? Why? How about what is this teaching us? What is this trying to show me? Right? And when I switched to that, I was like, oh, I need to step out of that. Because when I did, I came back to my own power, right? I mean, I was still mad. Don't get me wrong. I was still feeling the fucking emotions. I'm a human. Fucking human. I still feel. But I was able to be like, oh, I see the life choices that I made that led to this. Oh, I see why this is the way that it is. I see like now that this was a whole lesson to be like, are you gonna keep tolerating this shit? Are you gonna fucking walk away finally? And I was like, you right. You right. Cause like sometimes the universe doesn't send you like subtle signs like a rainbow or a butterfly or birds, like or I was gonna say birds again. Or like flowers or whatever. Sometimes it's not sunshine and fucking rainbows. Sometimes the message is like, are you fucking done? Right? Are you fucking done? That was how it was for me last night. So I just want you guys to know, like, these messages can be anywhere from like, oh, it's just to like it's heavy, like heavy. Like I was like, ah, ah. Okay, so basically what I'm saying is to, like, when we have these signs, like the divine know that is fine, like honestly the situation telling me to fuck off, fuck you kind of situation. Oh, they came back again. Um the black vultures, not the other birds. Not the one that shit the shit out of me. um it's like being I was at the time me asking like what am I learning in this situation, I was activating my softness, I was activating my power in that moment. I was no longer a victim anymore. I was taking advantage of the situation, and an advantage in a way of me not just letting it steamroll me. I was steamrolling, not steamrolling it, but I was taking it by the helm and being like, well, by the collar and being like, yo, what are you doing? No, I'm just kidding. It was not that, but I was basically stepping into my own power and like realizing like I need to take responsibility for my actions, and I need to figure out what I'm gonna do next, because I can't just sit here and like let this be like, oh, and not do anything. That's not gonna get me anywhere. So being in your softness has nothing to do with letting things take advantage of you. It has everything to do with you rising up in your power and taking advantage of the situation. The situation. Not taking advantage of people, the situation. Okay? Okay. I'm not that anyone's ever said that to me or said anything about those in these videos, but I just want you guys to know there's a difference between taking advantage of a person and taking advantage of a situation. Okay. So yeah, that's basically yeah. That's whew, okay. So basically, right, we're at the end of this, and I just want you guys to think about like I want you guys to think about everything that I've said, right? I want you guys to think about the signs. Maybe you've seen signs. Maybe there's been stuff in your life, and you're like, this is kind of weird, and then you watch this video, and you're like, oh shit. Think about that, right? I want you to think about that, because the prompt for the week is, what trash in your life is actually a hidden owl? Just like I said earlier with a bag. I thought it was a bag. It was a fucking owl. Like what? And what numbers or symbols have you been seeing that are like, shouting at you lately? I didn't say it exactly the way that I said it a little differently, but it's the original is down below in the description if you want to go check that out. At towards the bottom of the description. So, and when I want you guys to like sit down with that, right? I want you guys to sit down and think about it, because I just said, we watched this. I just spoke. You watch this. I'm about to watch this again too, so I can edit. But I want you to like sit and think about that, because when you sit and think about that, you start to realize like all the little things that are around you that are actually trying to speak to you, are actually like trying to help you out, or are actually signs from the universe, the creator, your guides, and your higher self trying to like share information with you. Sometimes we're too stubborn to even notice that. Sometimes we just are. I know I'm stubborn. I know I am stubborn. I know how stubborn I can be, okay? Just like I said, like the thing with the birds, the other bird that I was talking about, that I was waiting for, and then someone said the name multiple times, and I was still being stubborn after it. Like, come on, like, like, we are humans here. Like I said, this is a safe place. You guys can comment that stuff down below, or you can guys find me on social media. I will be posting this question also for the Saturday prompt, so engagement. So if you want to like be a part of that, you can. And yeah, I hope you guys start opening your eyes to the signs, synchronicities, and all that stuff. And the blog post will be a lot of what I said already, but it also will have more information, more structured information for you. I've been wanting to write and talk about this since I started like a mindful adventure, right? It was one of the first things I wanted to talk about, because I've always seen signs, I've always seen synchronicities, I've always been like in tune with that kind of stuff. So I'm just excited to share with you guys. I'm so excited, and I'm hoping that this helps you guys on your journey and helps other people. Maybe share it with somebody who might need this information. And of course, if you guys want to find information, more of me or more of the content, You can find all that on the homepage of the YouTube channel, or you can go down below into the link tree and it'll take you to pretty much anything you're looking for. The website, all of the social medias, my Amazon gift list, because I be needing some stuff for the and for myself, of course, because I have to maintain all of this, right? Anywho, so if you guys are interested in any of that, or this, and also the support me pages in there too, so you can get directly to that. But that's also on the bottom of the webpage, so you can find that there. Anywho, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope wherever you are on that 24-hour scale of a day, that it goes wonderfully. I know I just said that twice, but let me be, okay? I love you guys. I love you guys so very much. And I hope you guys share this with other people. Okay, bye.